Today, we're assembling and testing this Canopy umbrella. It's easy to put together, it's easy to move around in all sorts of crazy directions. It's probably the best darn umbrella I've ever seen or used in my entire life. This is an honest review of this project. I was paid nothing to put it together, assemble it, or provide any kind of feedback. I'll post below where you can buy this particular umbrella. Here we go. Okay, here we are. Here's all the parts laid out in the box. I've verified all the parts are there. The weight system is interesting. You can use water or sand. Since we're in upstate New York, I'm going to use sand. But it comes in 4 sections of about 40 or 50 pounds a piece, which makes it more manageable than trying to move a base that weighs 160 pounds. Whoa! We'll see how this goes. Here's the beginning. You put the X down, marks the spot. We're not really sure where we're going to put this thing in the end, but I'm just going to take advantage and build it in the middle of the deck, and then hopefully we'll be able to shift it around, because once you put the weights in place, it's going to be a lot harder to move. And as with all my builds, I'm going to use the tools that come with it, and it looks like all I need is this Allen wrench right here. So the first thing we're going to do is take these 4 bolts and I guess some washers, and we're going to kind of bolt that base down. See how that goes. I like how it comes with an extra bolt. That way, if you lose one, your project isn't over. There's some washers that, perfect example of how you could lose some. The other thing is that when I started lining up the holes, they weren't lining up perfectly, but you got to realize a little bit of wiggle room there. It's all going to work out. So I just go in, put the bolts in hand tight, and this time we're going to do with a washer. Get this last one on here. Yeah, the planets are aligning. Wasn't sure at first because of the holes. You might have to jiggle it around a little bit to get it in the right place. So then you pull out the Allen wrench, and I go in the order of boom, 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 boom. Because if you tighten down one side too much, you might run into a problem. The threads of one of the bolts rubbing up against the part, and you don't want that to happen. And then one more good tightening all around, and we're ready for the next step. Then I added this second piece here, did the same thing to the bolts as I did down here. And I have to remove this bolt here so I can slide on this protective plastic cover and then adjust it like that. And see, it covers up all the hardware. Probably keeps it from rusting too, which is good. So I thought these were extra screws, but they're not. They go here, here, and here. This little cover here is good because it goes over and protects a seam here where water could leak down. I'm awfully glad this isn't very heavy. So I'll slide that in and bolt it down here and here with those bolts. So again, hand tightening, and then final lockdown with the Allen wrench. I was hoping to show you how to put this handle on, but it's kind of a real interesting situation where as soon as you slide it on, it doesn't come off. It's on there forever. And it pivots real easy using the foot pedal down here at the bottom. So I like that. Now I'm going to show you how I fill up these bases. I'm actually keeping them in the box, and I'm taking an orange juice container and I've cut it in half like this so that I had a funnel for the top and a scoop. And then I just take, it's a half cubic feet of clay sand, go in here like this, and then just pour it in. You want as dry a sand as possible, because if it's wet, it's just going to be harder to put in. You can fill this all with water, and there's actually some goo you can put in the water, and I'll post it down below if you want to try that. But since I'm in upstate New York and it freezes a good bit of the year, we're going to fill it with sand. So it just works out, and depending on how wet the sand is, I guess, you got about 40 to 50 pounds worth of sand here, and it takes almost a whole bag. That's half a cubic foot of sand to fill up one of these bases. And I have 4 to fill up, so I've got 4 bags of sand. It will clog up on top a little bit and it will look like it's full, but it's not. Because again, it's going to take pretty much the whole bag. So I just keep tapping it and knocking that sand down. You pace it just right, you'll be able to put it in there. But then I've got a little stick here, push it down, stir it around to fill it up all the way to the top. And that guy looks almost done. Shake it off a little bit and then just put the cap on. And then I'll just slide this back in, pull up another one of these quarters, put it in place in the box just like this because it's the right height for me to fill it up, and repeat the process 3 more times for a total of 4 times. Here's a little quick tip. If your sand is wet, dry it out. You can just kind of lay it out on a piece of cardboard out in the wind, even in the sun is better, because the more you dry it out, the easier it is to put in the container. And I was having problems with, it was tight but not tight enough, and if I bounced it, it would come off and that would result. So I took some duct tape, split it in half and wrapped it tight around here, and that really locked it down good. So I'm happy with that. Just wanted to show that out to folks because it can be pretty frustrating when you're filling this with sand and all of a sudden it pops off. Alright, so we have sand in all 4 of these things. You can see they have holes on one side. That's to help stabilize the top side. So they slide right in like this. These are designed specifically for this umbrella, and that really locks it down. Now because we have a railing over here, I've got the pedal located so that you can spin around the umbrella with not an issue. That's in somewhere between 150 and 160 pounds worth of sand. Water would probably be a comparable weight. Now you have these 4 little U metal pieces and they just go in here like this. The great thing about this design is if you want to move this thing, say you nudge it over this way, you probably could push it with all these in here. You can always slide these out, and then the umbrella is fairly lightweight without the weight base in the bottom. Putting the umbrella up is pretty easy. Just undo the Velcro. You can notice that I put it around the post here. Then I'll take and redo the Velcro just to keep it from snagging. So you see the handle here, you're going to turn it in a clockwise position. So let's get this guy all the way up. Okay, so I want to show you how far you can rotate this. It's crazy. Put your foot down and you just use one hand, maybe 2. Depending on who you are. And this thing rotates all the way around. So if you had a party going on, people sitting down here, you could actually shade them down below with this umbrella. So let's turn it back around this way and I'll show you the angles you can do. Again, all with a thumb and a finger. That's the most extreme. It's a really great umbrella. Then to put it down, it's just as easy as putting it up, but you go in the counterclockwise direction. When it's not moving, then you know you've got far enough. Boom, it goes right in place. Take the Velcro, and you've got it all done. Thumbs up and comments, always appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in evaluations of all sorts of gear for the home, for sports, technology, making and breaking stuff, designs of all kinds, I even do costumes, cosplay, and props. Check out my channel and please subscribe, because you never know what you're gonna see.